Hero's XPulse, Mahindra's Thar. These homegrown heroes are giving budding off-road enthusiasts the power to dream because these two are really quite accessible. And once you get them, surely you can settle down in the haze of social media fame, or you could decide to dig a little bit deeper and really live that dream. And if you decide to go off-road, what happens next? We're going to pit these two against each other. But to make this really representative, the hands that are going to be guiding these two are going to be really green hands. Just like his hair, he likes his roads to be twisty. Desi Rossi has the swag too.
I'm here to hit apexes all day long.
But off the tarmac, he is green and sure to be brown too. His apexes might be fine, but it's his traction I'm worried about. And as for the second pair of hands that we've got here, I don't need to introduce them. Mr. Motorcycle. And he may not know what's in store, but that doesn't put a dent in his game face.
Let's do this.
What they are going to do is take the Thar and the XPulse over multiple challenges to see who wins, car or bike. Guys, this is going to be fun!
Well, Shumi's here to ride the bike, so I don't need to be in leathers to drive the car.
You don't need to be in leathers at all because we're going off-road, but the thing is, Shumi is the noob for the Thar.
Come on, it's got 2 more wheels than I need.
If you don't mind terribly, we'd love it if you just drove the Thar. That'd be perfect.
You couldn't get a car guy to go off-road on a motorcycle instead?
Yeah, we had to get another bike guy because all the car guys said they had never ridden a cycle even. Surprising, right? But anyways, the point is, Shumi is going to be driving the Thar and you...
That means I have to ride the XPulse?
Time to get changed.
Off-road?
Time to get changed. Now!
Zaran, out of the cow and into some textile. Wow, that's the BS6 XPulse, isn't it? It's quite a smoother and has better power to weight ratio than before.
Power to weight ratio, it's a 200cc bike. That's the new Thar. 2.2 litre turbo diesel. The torque to weight ratio is through the roof.
So is my torque to weight ratio, but the thing is, that thing weighs nothing, which means if it falls over, you can, okay, maybe not you, but you can pick it up and get out of there. If I get this thing stranded, I have to walk home.
Okay, I mean the weight is a big number, but so are all the other numbers. 226 millimeters of ground clearance and 18-inch wheels.
You've got 220, I've got 226, and as an older person, let me give you some advice. 6 mm in the real world counts for nothing. It's not even worth talking about, honestly.
Both the vehicles were completely stock. No off-road tires on the Thar LX and no rally kit on the XPulse. Exactly how a newbie would start off. It's pretty serious this, right? Because for the long way back home, whoever wins gets to choose what they ride or drive back.
4 wheels, better off-road.
Dude, you've got a handlebar, I've got a steering wheel, you win!
Guys, okay, one sec. As you spend time with them, I'm sure you will start to appreciate them more. You, the motorcycle, and you, the four-wheeler, right? And there's no doubt that you will start to enjoy the experience that you have.
Enjoy what? Obviously that's better for newbies.
It seemed like these two would just give each other the win. So we had to push them along. Okay, we'll start things slow. There's a challenge coming up. Simple. We go from 0 to 40 to 0. Who does it in the shortest distance?
That's gonna be on-road or off-road?
To help Zaran, we started off somewhere in between, a gravelly path. Despite that, Zaran and the XPulse didn't look, well, sharp.
Look, braking as hard as possible on a bike is a risky enough affair even on well-paved tarmac. And to do it on a surface like this that resembles a very wet, ancient Roman cobblestone street, I mean, that's asking for a lot.
And if you're in Rome, might as well get a good chariot. The new diesel engine got the Thar off the line like a rocket-propelled brick. It found traction easily, hit 40 kmph swiftly, and then this 2-ton brick stopped like it hit a wall.
You went to 40 or 30? Well, I learned something. That's like 2 Thar lengths, man. Well, 4 wheels, I guess, make a difference, right? This got Zaran to try harder, and despite the Hero's juddery ABS calibration, the XPulse got within 4 meters of the Thar. But would the bike get ahead when we took the test off-road?
Aha! It appears as though the tables have turned on this slushy surface. However,
it was clearly the Thar's win, and Shumi made it clear how hard it had been for him.
oh man, on this broken road it was still close, but once we got into the slushy stuff, I couldn't even get up to 40.
Yeah, that's the advantage, I think, of having 4 large contact patches, because I basically sat there and it did all the work. In the sketchy stuff, I think the risk is if you do go off track, you just select the right gear and it brings you right back. There's no risk of you.
Then it was time to drive to the next challenge, something deceptively tricky. Alright, now that you guys are warmed up, let's do something a bit more interesting. This is our start point, and you have to make your way over there to the top of the quarry. You see that? Right there. So you guys have to make a dash for it and see who gets there quicker. Now Shumi, you are a Thar owner. You bought this, it's your prized possession. You want to keep it intact. You don't want to bust a sump on all the rocks that are there around here, or dent or break anything, because you have to drive back home in this. And Zaran, just don't break bones. Just yeah, stay clean. I'm sure you'll find your mojo. This is a movie, so Zaran didn't burst into a blazing start. He was still tiptoeing.
Well, of course I was tiptoeing. The wet grass was slippery, the wet rocks were even more slippery. But the lightness of the Hero gave me some confidence, and I even dared to take a little shortcut. The final curveball was in the form of the slippery climb up to the top of the quarry, where I finally crossed the line with a timing of 1 minute and 24 seconds. I was hopeful.
Then it was the Thar's turn to get flagged off, and it had to take some care.
The Thar was still in 4-wheel drive high, which meant it wasn't really serious technical terrain or anything. It could easily fly over everything, well, except for the ditches and hidden rocks, that is. So I had to be a bit more careful, which is part and parcel of going off-road. I did want to beat Zaran, but getting there first meant that first I had to get there.
But unlike the bike, the Thar had to take the longer way around at some points, and the end result was 1 minute 15 seconds. Advantage Thar once more.
So Zaran, how was it for you?
I mean, obviously the car was quicker, that's hardly a surprise. On a bike I had a little more flexibility in terms of the lines and the route I chose, but execution was a major challenge.
You think you had flexibility? I saw you riding that motorcycle. No, but you're right. I think the car is doing most of the work. So in that sense, for a new driver, this is probably an easier way to get into off-roading. But yeah, you do have to do a little bit of the jiggle wiggle while it slides around a little bit, but then you realize there's no danger of you washing your front out or anything. So it's pretty peaceful.
And you're safe and dry and I'm out here getting soaked.
Hey, I'd change places with you in a second, but you know who is not going to let us do that?
Guys,
Well, let's not go there.
next challenge.
Yes. We know. Follow me to the next challenge. You might even like it, and if you like it, please share it and subscribe to ZigWheels.
Clearly, you can take a person out of cell phone coverage, but you can't take social media out of their minds. Slides and drifts for Insta memories were whipped up. You can decide which one you liked more later, because the next challenge awaits. This is going to be a real test. I'm not kidding, guys. I've seen what's up ahead. It's a bit scary. So you guys, man, machine, have to pull together to make this happen, right? Best of luck. The hill climb is mean. It starts nice and easy, just mud and slush, before abruptly turning into a rocky, rutty, destruction-laden path. For the Thar, it could claim a sump or an axle. For the XPulse, well, not much, but for Zaran, it could change his bone structure and crush his spirit. This challenge wasn't for newbies. It was like throwing them into the deep end.
I've done some pretty long sessions under sweltering heat at the racetrack, but they were nothing compared to this. Having to muscle the XPulse over and through this boulder field was bloody exhausting. Progress was slow, my breathing was heavy, and the XPulse felt extremely uncooperative, slipping and sliding around on its stock tire pressures. And soon, the inevitable happened. Fortunately, the man who got me into this situation was on hand to get me out of it. And after much rocking and rolling and slipping and sliding, I finally somehow made it to the finish line.
By now, I was super confident in the Thar's capability. This challenge was going to be easy. But then the path turned rocky and I needed to shift into four-wheel drive low, which I had to come to a stop to do. But then the Thar was transformed. It was in its element, and for some stretches I was able to put it in second gear and get off the accelerator completely while it crawled forward easily and happily. All I had to do was make sure that the wheels were pointed in the right direction. I also had to make sure that I didn't bounce the suspension too much over the rocks. That could land a big blow to its belly. But just when I thought that the worst of the track was behind us, the Thar faced its biggest challenge. With the road split by the trench, now I needed help. A spotter to help make my way through the section safely. With Kartik telling me where to place the wheels, the Thar stayed out of the ditch and slowly steadily we crawled past that and onwards to the finish line. The real treat was the surreal beauty of a hidden corner of our marvelous world. Oh, the joy of going where the roads don't.
Dude, I'm so proud of you. You made it to the top.
I wasn't expecting to, no way.
Guys, I am proud of you. This is incredible, making it here. I saw that stretch in the morning and well, I'm glad to see that the Thar is not broken or dented and you are...
Not broken, no dents. And the bike's fine too.
That in itself is an achievement. I mean, the timings are irrelevant here. It's
But why? I was doing so well.
Of course, you're going to say it was all you, right? All the proficiency on that course.
No, it wasn't. The Thar doesn't have a handlebar. I didn't do anything. I just sort of sat in it and did off-roading by itself. I mean, it's one step from autonomously driving itself off-road.
Are you actually saying that that is a good off-roader?
I've driven the previous one and I know that this one is a significant change and it's just getting through stuff. I would say it rocks. It rocks off-road and then it rocks you when you get back on the road.
Would you recommend it to people going off-road for the first time?
Oh, for sure. It's got so much capability and it's so easy to drive. They would love it.
Oh, it's the whole opposite story with the bike. I had to learn so much more. I had to really upskill as a rider to get the bike to do what I wanted. I mean, yes, the XPulse is a great bike, even better in this BS6 era because the engine is a little more tractable, but it is a tool and you need to know how to get the best out of the tool.
So as a rider, you need to really step up to go off-roading. Your upskilling is required very sharply, whereas with the Thar, you can
happen later.
But still, it's incredible that you managed with the XPulse to get here, and that's a testament to the motorcycle, to you of course as well, but I think very, very impressed
I
with
would
this.
add one more thing. Remember what I told you about the 6mm in the beginning of the story? It's not the tool, it's what you do with it. That's what counts.
And on that note, since the Thar and you have aced this challenge, what would you like to head home on in?
I'm going to choose to send you guys home while I take my tent out. I like this spot. I'm going to be here for a couple of days and just like I threatened to in the beginning of the story, I'm going to walk home.
Fantastic! That means I finally get the Thar. This thing's all yours.
Alright then, XPulse, I'm good with that.
All yours.
Super.
Zaran कितना टाइम गिरेगा? 3 टाइम देख ले।
क्या है ये?
स्वागत है। आज हम कंपेयर कर रहे हैं थार को XPulse से और जरान मोदी को मेरे से। सो ये कंपटीशन तो ऑलरेडी ओवर हो चुका है शुरू होने से पहले।
I do what I like. I do not need all your advice.
You can see that's the Jan, our cheerleader. He practices that a lot. This is the one opportunity he's got to show his special skills. Pom-poms. He loves them.